This is a picture of David and the girl that was found in his Tesla hanging out. Now, I understand a lot of you guys like David for his music, so y'all don't want to believe that he did this. But you really just got to stop and ask yourself, if you weren't a fan of the person that all this evidence came out against, would you really be defending them as hard as you are?
This really pains me to make this type of video because David is actually a person that I enjoyed his music a lot. Even though he didn't necessarily make the most thought-provoking stuff, I feel like the emotions that he put inside his music was actually very well, and he had a lot of, promise when it came to making the type of music and the genre that he was in. And there's not a lot of black artists that was inside the indie rock type, lane that he was in. It was interesting. First, there wasn't enough information. Then there was too much information. Then there were a bunch of information that literally wasn't true, but people were putting out. So right now, I am going to give you all the information that we know of and not any of the extra stuff. In LA, there was an incident. Somebody smelled a very, very gross smell coming from a car. This car happened to be a Tesla, and when they opened the car, trunk, there was a body. A body that was decomposing for we don't even know how long. And there were body parts chopped up. There was a head and a torso seen in the back of this Tesla. And this Tesla happened to be owned by, my man David. There was another body found from a unrelated car because for some reason a lot of people were saying that there were two bodies, but there was only one. Unfortunately, the body that was inside David's car was a woman. At the time, they didn't know what age, what ethnicity, and anything about this person other than the tattoo that was on her finger. They identified this body to be a 15-year-old girl. This girl name was Celeste Reves. I'm hoping that I'm saying this right. Forgive me if I'm not. And her parents says that she had a boyfriend named David. Now again, David is the name of the artist that we are talking about. So we are very much assuming that these two were in a relationship. And this girl has been missing for at least a year and some change. Now, amidst the initial shock, David said that he was going to take accountability. He was going to work with law enforcement. And now that the age and the person that was found inside his car was, shown to the public, he has since stopped touring. Now he has also lost all his brand deals and it is looking pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly wanted to take a lot of time before getting into this specific topic because, again, this type of crime is crazy and is very, career ending. But how things are being shown, the evidence that's been given, and the situation at hand, I feel like it would be a disservice for me to not talk about the situation. Also, my friends have been peer pressuring me to make a video about this situation for a few weeks, but I kept telling them that there was no information to be made. And it's just really sad to see like a artist that had pretty much his whole life ahead of him make this turn. And it's not even to mention that again this girl was 15 and at this moment David is 20. So there is a lot of word. We're not even gonna get into the words, but he's on some Diddy shit. Now I don't only want to talk about him because he isn't even important to this whole conversation. It is the victim. This girl had a family. This girl had her whole life ahead of her, and if he did this and he is found guilty of these crimes, I feel like there's no forgiving this type of situation. And again, I put my heart out to the family, to the people that are, really suffering in this situation, I don't feel like I am the right person to give a full coverage on this situation, but I did want to talk about it because, again, I feel like a lot of people should be getting enlightened on this whole situation. Also, I will not be showing the picture of this 15-year-old girl on this video because I feel like this is just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that type of, reputation is on my channel, but again, you guys can look this up. I will send links and things of that nature in the description. Go ahead and do your research. Anyway, that is all the information that I have so far, and I will be covering this situation when it does go into trial and more information starts coming out, but for now, this is everything.